Hi, this is Susan with River Tropics, and today I'm just going to show you a few things that I'm going to be doing over the next little while. I'll be taking separate videos and loading them to YouTube and my Facebook channel, and that's River Tropics on YouTube and Susan River Tropics on Facebook. So I'm just going to flip the camera around. I'm going to show you a few things, and we're going to put together a couple of little planters here today. So I'm going to be using stuff like hens and chicks, different colored ones, Creeping Charlie, Lysimachia lime. Okay folks, I'm back again, and here's a couple of containers that I selected to do these planters in. This will have all cold hardy plants in it, mostly perennial and cold hardy. So I'm going to get started. I've selected a couple of pieces of driftwood that I think I'd like to have in each one. I think I'll use this one in here. Just press it down in to where you think you're going to want it. I think that looks pretty good there, and that way I can fill this up here and put a little moss in it. This will become more stable as we put plants around it. And I have this here piece that I've selected for this one. So I'm just going to, I think I'll put it in this way. And it has small crevices, areas for moss and different things such as that. So I'm just going to bring this in a little bit closer so you can see what I'm doing here. So with this here, I'll leave it there. I'm going to take a little bit of washed gravel that I got from the back and put it along the back side here to give it a little support. So that it's not toppling over on me. There, that gives a lot more support there. Once you get watering and you put all the plants in around it, it tightens it up. So sometimes it's a little wobbly, but once you get going, it usually turns out to be pretty good. So we'll start with that. And I think this corner here would be the best corner to put some of the red hen and chicks. This is quite a big one. I'm not sure if I need all these in there. Overpower it a little bit, but we're just going to break that in two like that. And then I'm going to place, make sure that wood is up so that you'll be able to see that from behind. Dig a nice little hole and set that down in there. Bringing the babies up so that they don't get lost in the shuffle here. So that'll be the first one there. And then I'll probably take a little green with the red tips on it. Take that one out. And again, I don't want to put the whole works of it in there, so I'm just going to break it apart here. And I am take some of that excess off. I'm thinking about putting it back there, but I'm just going to sit it there for the moment. Take this one, here's the red one here. I'll slide that back and bring this one in a little closer so that you can see what's going on here. This one I'm probably going to put in this corner as well. Having them similar but a little bit different they will be. This again, and a few rocks. Put at the back. See, I'm just kind of throwing them along the back side here to give it a little support right along here, eh? Keeps the stick in place. Now this one's a little bit bigger, so with the green, I might put it over on this side. So I'm just going to break some of the excess soil off here. And then bring this over to this side here, dig this out a bit, and toss these ones in here. Just going to watch because there's a piece of wood underneath there. That won't hurt the plants, of course, but once we get them in, there. So now we've got a couple there, and this here, I think I'd like to keep it up high like that. So I'm just gonna pull this forward, push the rocks in, keep those up on the rocks like that, and we have a really good view of both. Whoops, sorry, I went and bumped into the camera. So the next, I think, I'm gonna fill up a little bit of soil loss back here. Let's get some, now this Lysimachia, it grows and it trails, and it will actually put out a beautiful little yellow, it almost looks like a little yellow buttercup. So it's rather unique. So I'm just going to take this, I think, because it's got the green here, and I'm just going to put it along the back. As you can see, all the roots, it's growing right now. Loads of it is growing out in my garden. So I'm just going to take that, making sure that the root part, I actually pull this off. It grows up over my cloth that I have down, weed barrier cloth, I guess you might say. So I put the green one over here, and I think I'll put the lime Lysimachia off on the other side here, right close to this, because of the color will really enhance the hen and chicks that are there. So I'm just gonna get a piece of this out. Don't need the whole works of it, obviously, but okay, so I pulled out a nice little chunk like this, and I'm just going to take this pieces, and I'm going to dig down in here and place that right along there, just to give it a little bit of that. So you can see it's really starting to come along, and we're going to do the same over here. I'm going to get some lime. I want to put that right beside the dark red. Goodness. Tough to get out sometimes. Tuck that in over here. And again, I'll take one of the dark green Lysimachia. Quite all this. I'll take some of it, and I think I'll just tuck it back here in this far corner. I'm hoping that you can see this. So I'm just going to tuck it down in here in this far corner. This will trail right over the side, as will the lime Lysimachia. They're very good trailers. So next thing I thought I'd do is, I got this here is Arctic ivy. Now this grows, stays pretty well green most of the winter, but it does get a little bit of singe. So I thought maybe it'd be kind of cute tucking it over here in the corner. Oops, the roots are still out here, so just gonna go like this. So that'll continue to grow and trail over as well. And I have another one for the other one. So I'm going to do the same thing there. I think what I'll do is I'll bring it around, because I've got this. Maybe I should have had this up a little closer here, I think. So I'm just going to move these rocks. Sometimes when you're creating a planter, you start out with one idea, and then something part way through you're thinking, oh, I should have that, you know, I should put that in there or whatever. That should go over on this side or whatever it might be. So sometimes you have that. So I'm just going to tuck that back there. Next, there's something that I didn't get. I don't think I'll even have room for Creeping Charlie here. So if you bear with me for a moment, I just got to go get some moss, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got some nice moss. Just going to take this, push this up in here like that. I'm going to take this moss. I should have the scissors to break this part with, I think. Now, take the scissors here and I cut it down to the size I want. I just went out back, got this out of the woods here today. So I'm just gonna tuck that in. As you can see, it's just gonna grow right up just like you would see it on a tree in the woods. Just need another little piece for the upper part there. Scissors again. Need that big of a, and tuck that in. So that just kind of gives it a unique look to have that growing up on there. Bird feather. I'm going to continue that right over the back side of that stick. That there's just a piece of driftwood we went out last fall and went down to the beach and collected up several different pieces of driftwood. Now moss is a wonderful thing because it will basically cling to anything and grow on anything. So this here, this is why I wanted to bring this around just like that. As you can see, it gives it a very unique look. So there's that. And then I'm going to do the same over on this one, only I might do it a little bit differently. Alright. So I'm going to cut some off. First I like to get some really wet soil to place on this. This is quite wet, as you can see. So I'm just going to put, first I'm going to bring this around here, and then down in here I'm going to put a little bit of this. Basically putting it into that crevice that you see right there. You can also just use mud from your garden or somewhere like that, because moss pretty much will grow on anything. So I'm just using very wet soil that I have here. Just again going to clip this up a little bit. I'd like this to be up in there. Just going to tuck that down into the crevice. As you can see, it's coming along there pretty good. This over top of where I had the soil, and I got a little too much right here, so I'm just going to clip that off, and there you have it. Now I hope you can see that good enough right there. I'll slide this one back and bring this one forward a little bit so you can see it a little bit better as I work on it. Now that's that side, and I think I'm going to flip this around. And I'd like to have some moss coming down in this little area here. So again, I'm just going to take the wet soil, okay, and lay it into that little crevice that you see. Spread it out just a little bit down this. There. And now we're going to cut another piece. This moss here actually came right off of a tree. That's what was growing on. It was growing on the bark of a tree. So it should do quite well here actually on this. So when you do this, make sure you press it in really good. Got a little bit, it's a little bit too wide here. I need to take a little bit off of it right there. I often find that when you're working with moss, it's good to be able to shove it down into the narrowest little crevice that you can find, and that way it tends to hold on just a little bit better. And that's what I'm doing with this one. And we're going to call that done there. Now I'm looking at this here, and I'm thinking maybe we should put something up here. And I'm just grab a little wee tiny piece. The soil is coming through from where I pressed it through before. Just going to put it right there. And trim that up just a little bit because it looks a little ragged. pressing it into the crevices again, allowing the wood to come through. Driftwood is great for this because it has a lot of little ridges and stuff that you can hook onto, and it's great. You can tuck soil in and put the moss in. That adds just a little something to it. Now that we've got the, I guess, the piece of driftwood and the main plants in, the next thing will be to decorate the base of it here. So I am going to use a little more washed gravel in here. Just throwing a little bit there. Excuse me. And I'll probably use a little over here as well. What I plan to do is put the washed gravel down, and then you can take some of the colored gravel that I bought and put it over top of it a little bit. But this kind of adds to a base so that the small stones don't get lost in the soil. Once you got this base done, it tends to help quite a little bit. So bring this one forward and flick it around. Throw a few more rocks down in here. Arctic ivy to kind of pop up there a little bit. Flip over to this side. Add a few between the Samachia and the Henninjets here. Cover the front. Back here. Now that looks really good there. If you don't have any of the different type of gravel, I bought that in at Dollarama, that's not a problem. You can very easily just continue to fill with washed gravel. Just get into the bag a little bit. And get a few of these little stones, just add a touch here and there. So for this, you see, by putting the large washed gravel underneath, it kind of holds up the new, otherwise it would sink down in and be lost. So just going to do the same over here. Bring this one up a little closer and add a little bit of these up in here. You don't have to put a lot, just a little to give that hint of color in there, and it really highlights your plants that you have in there. So I'm just going to get a little bit of the pink hue stones here now. I think I'd like to put on this one, I kind of like to put it in behind the chicken. I'm going to flip that around just to give it a little bit something brighter at the back here. A few in there, maybe a few right there. And these here obviously are going to grow and get a lot bigger. Okay, so, and same with this, is all going to trail out. So you don't want to overdo it. Put too much in, and then that would leave no room for your plants to grow. So here at the back, I think a little bit here and there. Down there, I think I'll just throw a couple of washed gravel stones. And there you have it. Winter planters. Next year what I want to do is I want to have some bulbs like of crocus and maybe some short daffodils, mainly crocus and that, and I'd like to be able to put a couple of little crocus, and that will add a little color to it, so you can have that kind of popping up at the back. And it's just something unique and different. But this here is something you can sit out on your doorstep right now and it will be fine. It's not going to hurt it at all. So anyways, that's it for today. Please keep watching because I are going to do some other unique pieces. This is just a planter here for today, and we hope to get everything all set up by Wednesday here, and once everything's set up I can show you all the different plants that we're going to have in here this year. and also go through a few different designs. Definitely stay tuned. We're going to try that bonsai. I have the Hobbit. I got Hammond Sunset, and I also have the Fairy Jade, which they all got a little stretched out over the winter. My Fairy Jade was very nice looking bonsai in my crock pot, so that there's got to be pruned up. So do come back. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe for me. And if you want to, you can pop on over to Facebook and follow me there. So until next time, you guys all have a good day. Thanks a lot.